First things first, guys. I mean, come on. Like, what's going on? Yeah, God tier. Demo is God tier. If you play demo, you have God mode enabled. Has returned. All right, so is everybody prepared for what might be a very, very contentious, the most contentious tier list of the world in all of AFE? All right, so let's get into it. Insane difficulty, right? Hard content, very, very difficult. Difficult gaming, difficult life, right? Very difficult content. What do you take in them? What should you take in them? What should you avoid? Let's find out. All right, so look, we got a beautiful tier set up here, guys. We got God tier, S tier, A tier, Grief tier. All the important things are covered here. Don't mind the wording of Grief tier. Nothing is that bad. Honestly, nothing is that bad. Let's just get into it, guys. All right, disclaimer. Play whatever you want. This tier list is basically how good can these classes carry, and also, it's a little bit of a meme, so don't take it too seriously. Everything is good and insane. I mean, even the Grief tier stuff is more than playable if you really wanted to. I know a guy by the name of Downtown Jesus. He don't want to spoil anything, but he can play whatever I'm putting in Grief tier, and he can just out DPS everybody, so it's all good. What we are doing here with this tier list is basically looking at the class's carry potential. And I'm not talking about solo carry potential, no, I'm talking about group carry potential. And what I mean by that is, Grief tier, and to an extent A tier, is basically saying, I'm putting myself at the mercy of my teammates. Right? If you're in a group and your team is not ready for insane and they F up and start dying, there is nothing you can do to save that mission. Right? While if you play, I don't know, demo, you're gonna go like, really? You died? That's cute. I kill everything. Oh, the Pathogen Queen seems to have died in under 2 minutes. That's because I can do 33k DPS passively while AFKing. Lol. And that's what I'm talking about. This is what this tier list represents. That's what we're dealing with. First things first, guys. I mean, come on. Like, what's going on? Yeah, God tier. Demo is God tier. If you play demo, you have God mode enabled. Like one of the most insane, disgustingly good builds. Trigger Claw. Godlike damage with Impact Grenade Launcher and your Precision Rockets. Amazing EoE radius because of the demo expertise and the bigger and better perks. Right? Easy ability recovery because of Quick and Dirty. Absurdly easy access to crowd control. You know, your Precision Rockets, they can stumble. Your Concussive Rockets, they knock down. You have Napalm Rockets that create an area of effect denial. Your Blast Wave is great for knocking Xenos back into Cryo Grids, for example, or to knock them off of your teammates. Fire and Forget, you know, like Cold Iron thought it would be amazing if you did 33k DPS passively in bleed damage. No, demo is absolutely God tier. I recommend the demo basically in every mission, usually as the point man. Oh yeah, reactive charges, almost forgot. The most underrated perk for the demo basically gives you a blast wave for free when under threat. Alright guys, demo is God tier. Alright, up next is a class that nobody complains about. Nobody complains about the Recon. Yeah, that's right. Recon is God tier. Support drone. A little bit of healing, not great, but the ammo replenishment is a big deal, especially on Insane, where you get less ammo to begin with. Also, don't slack on your support drone, guys. Please give it that 30-35% duration so that it can spit out 3 to 4 clips. Just trust me on this, guys. It's amazing. Amazing damage with Bloodhounds. You mark a target, your entire team deals 25% extra damage, 35 if you also have the Red is Dead perk with you. And because of that, because every person in the team is now dealing 35% extra damage, it feels like having a fourth person in your group in terms of damage. I mean, even the other variations are great, right? The guard dog, they can slow, it can stun a little bit. You know, if you don't have a dedicated CC'er, you're taking guard dog, right? Or you can also take pups, the regular pups. With distracting howl, you're basically giving the entire team a map-wide slow on the Xenos. That's amazing. It also has amazing ability recovery because of back into the fight and threat neutralized. Not just for the Recon itself, but for the entire team, right? It doesn't matter how long your cooldown lasts. It can last 30 seconds, it can last 90 seconds. The Recon can get your cooldown back in 10 kills. That's value. I mean, every group should have at least one Recon, and it's not even a recommendation. I mean, if you're not taking a Recon in your group, you're just shooting yourself in the foot. And I'm not talking about just the ammo replenishment, I'm talking about pure damage increase. Like that's what you're missing out on, the extra damage when taking a Recon with you. No matter what other class you take to compensate for the Recon, it is not going to be enough. I mean, ultimately, it's up to you. But do you rather want to have a game where you're with 3 people? Or do you want to have a game where you're with 3 people, but it feels like you're with 4? And I think that's God tier, guys. These are the only 2 God tier classes, I think. So we're going to start moving up to, or moving down rather, to the S tiers. Alright, S tiers. So when I think of S tier, I think of the Gunner. No real reason, I just do. Now, don't get me wrong, the Gunner is high S tier, really high S tier. But why is it not God tier, right? One reason, it's selfish. Like, the demo has better CC, the Recon has better team-wide damage buffs. The Gunner does not. The demo has virtually unlimited precision rockets, right? I mean, everything gets recharged so fast because of Quick and Dirty. This means that he also has easy access, or quick access rather, to his blast wave, just recharging over and over and over again because of his precision rockets. The Gunner does not, right? It has its grenades, and you have to invest either the remote detonator or the mini nades, plus disorienting blast, in order to get like 3 knockdowns. And those are just knockdowns. They're not knockbacks, they're just knockdowns. So if you have a teammate who's in a corner with a warrior, he's not gonna be able to get out of there anymore. Overwhelming fire can bump the Gunner's CC up to 4 because of the stun. But again, while playing the demo right, you have unlimited stumbles and quick access to knockbacks. So in terms of CC, the demo wins. Now, why is the Recon better than the Gunner? The Gunner can give the team 10% extra damage, right? Because of focus fire. The Recon can give 35%. You're always going to do more damage in a team than alone. The Gunner also has good cooldown, but only on himself, and if he stops dealing damage, the cooldown kind of reverts back to its original. That's not the case with the Recon, and the Recon extends his recharge to the entire team. You see where I'm going with this, right? The Gunner has godlike potential, but only for himself. And that is why he is an S tier. He's an S tier because he is not a team player. Does this mean that the Gunner is bad? No. No, that is not what I'm saying. The Gunner has godlike damage and also has access to overcharge, which gives the entire team a nice boost in burst DPS to kill a big red elite quickly. Like, the highest DPS in the game, not taking into consideration the demo's bleed on the Queen, is actually the Gunner with the auto shotgun. It can reach up to 5k DPS in benchmarks and up to 10k when critting on his own. Like, just imagine what a group scenario would do. Like, Gunner is S tier 100%. Gunner is S tier all the way. I'm fighting for this, guys. S tier, go, 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 go. The CC stay on target, focus fire, overwhelming fire, disorienting blast, quick load interlink. They are so good. They are so good. 10% team-wide damage buff, 50% damage self buffs, 2 knockdowns, and a stun that you can combine with down and out. Bursters and prowlers are dead before the stun even ends. Like, oh my god, Gunner S tier, let's go! Like, it's there, guys. The damage is amazing. The burst damage, it's there. The CC, like, oh my god, the Gunner is really, really good. There it is. It's getting S tier. It deals more damage than the Recon, but only for himself. So it kind of falls short of God tier because it's just a selfish class. But you can definitely carry a team with a Gunner. If you have a Gunner in your group, he's going to be your primary damage dealer or secondary damage dealer if you have a demo in there. Ah, what else is in S tier? You know what? This is gonna surprise people. Like, people don't know. I mean, you know because you're watching my content. You know, the pros. They know, people like Warrior, Spike, Devil's #1, those people know, right? But the newer people, they don't know. A lot of people think that playing tech means that you need to sacrifice something, right? Either you sacrifice weapon damage for more turret damage and more utility on your coils, or you sacrifice your coils for more turret damage and weapon damage, or you sacrifice your turret for more weapon damage and coil utility. Right? Oh wait, wrong! You don't. Tech is S tier. The Arsenal build, guys. The Arsenal build. Here we go. Arsenal tech is getting S tier. Seal of approval. Like, it has amazing damage on its turret, and also amazing damage on both of your weapons, while also having amazing CC with your coils. Like, Incinerator turret combined with dynamic delivery systems and Force Multiplier 1 and 2 give you amazing damage output, even on armor targets. Then you have maximized retention, along with rapid deployment and a quick charge 2 mod to give your coils amazing utility. And then you have a slew of other perks like Parasocial Relationship, like Compatibility Matrix, Creative Pain Point Solution, Scalable Machine Learning, Modular Integration, and Down and Out for, when maximized retention procs, for amazing damage output no matter what weapon you're taking with you. It can be your handgun, or it can be your close combat weapon. It doesn't matter. It procs on all of your weapons. Yeah, tech is definitely S tier. It's easy to set up, it's easy to play, has amazing damage output, amazing crowd control. Just, the Arsenal build, guys. Now, you might be wondering, like, why am I clapping at my own videos? Like, why am I hyping up my own stuff? But I'm gonna be honest, guys, I'm not the only one who came up with this tech build. I did have help from people like Scott C, from Raven, and it's oh my god, it's so good. The Arsenal is so good, guys. And, I mean, it's totally modular, too. I mean, you can change the Incinerator turret with the Particle turret if you want to have some more long-range CC, or you can swap it out for the Heavy turret if you're fighting against the Synths, for example. You can also exchange, like, a Force Multiplier along with the Down and Out perk, and, like, give yourself Resonating Impact with Deep Leverage, just to have a little bit more CC. Like, the possibilities are endless with the tech, and that is why I consider it S tier. The Arsenal is a very strong build, and you can definitely carry people with it on Insane. Very, very strong indeed. But why is it not God tier? Well, it's because it suffers from the same affliction as the Gunner does, in that it is a very selfish build. Even more so than the Gunner, because the Gunner still has that 10% extra damage boost for the team. The tech has none of that. All of your buffs are just for you. I mean, I know that there is one perk, I think it's called Collaborative Analytics, which gives the team like 10% accuracy and 10% recharge speed, but that only happens when they are near the turret, and it just never happens. And 10% recharge speed and accuracy, that's kind of just meh, It's a dead perk. It's dead weight. It's too situational. Okay, enough about the tech. Let's take a look at something else that can be an S tier. Like, I want to give Doc S tier, right? But I mean, oh, it's so good. Like the Dragonfly build is so good, right? Like last week, a guy by the name of Manelli on Discord was kind of talking about how there's like no DPS on the dock and that the dock can't carry and stuff like that until I gave him my Dragonfly build, right? And now this person has seen the light, right? It's so powerful. It is so powerful, and I really want to give it S tier, but it's actually A tier. Dock is A tier. It's really high A tier though, but I mean, it's kind of like the Gunner in terms that it is very selfish with its buffs. And I mean, you do have the suppression station, but I mean, like the tech can CC too, right? And can do a lot more damage because it has a turret. It has a secondary piece that can deal damage, right? I mean, the dock has amazing damage output, right? Because you get like 15% from Doctor's Orders, another 15% from Charitable Glow, and then you also have the 10% from Strength in Numbers, right? And that's like 40% in total. But the thing is that the Gunner can get to 50% on his own without having to use stims or anything. Not, like no abilities. He can get to 50% on his own, easy. Really easy, just by shooting. While on the other hand, for the dock, you need to have 2 teammates with you that are near you, alive, and in good health. That's 3 criteria that you need to meet in order to have all of those damage increases. And not only that, if your teammates start dying, because that can always happen on Insane, right? Like a teammate gets pounced, insta-killed, or they get grappled and insta-killed, right? Your Surge in Hands is useless at that point, right? But every time that a teammate dies, you basically lose 10% DPS. And when both of your teammates are dead, you've lost 20% DPS in total. And you just start playing as a bad combination of Gunner and Tech. I mean, arguably, even the Recon deals more damage than the dog, because your damage increase is team-wide, and you'll always do more damage in a team than alone. It's not the best class out there, but amazing CC, solid damage output, healing. You can speedrun with the dog because of the stims and overdose. Against the Synths, you can use my Recluse build, right? It's incredibly tanky. You can double tap weak point kill Synths if you're using the double damage half speed card. They're just great builds all around. Very useful class. Great class. It is high, very high A tier. Boom, it's up there. First A tier class. Lancer? Yeah, because of where Doc is, I'm gonna put Lancer in A tier as well. Like, it has great abilities, great CC potential, as seen on my Juggernaut build, great damage output. Like, the Lancer is just great overall. But why isn't it higher? Alright, it's time to say something very, very controversial, yet very, very brave, right? Lancer is just bad Gunner. There, I've said it. Ball's in your court now. The Lancer just doesn't have the same carry potential as the demo. Like, the demo just carries harder, and that's just the truth. I mean, even while AFKing and just sporadically using his precision rockets, he's already carrying harder. Like, Onslaught is practically useless. You gain 20% extra damage, but you lose 20% fire rate. I mean, like, come on, the DPS remains the same, bro. Like, the only thing you gave yourself was a 20% damage reduction and 20% movement speed penalty. Like, the damage reduction is meaningless. Like, I always keep telling everybody, the best way to avoid damage in this game is to just not be there when the hit lands. i.e. dodge! And you get a 20% movement speed penalty, like 20% movement speed penalty for the same DPS and a useless damage resist buff? Like, no thanks, I'm good. Like, oh my god, you have to actually like invest Tenacious in Onslaught for it to be even remotely good, right? But even then, the increase in damage is just minimal. It's a 5% increase in DPS. It's garbage. Absolute garbage. Lately, when playing the Lancer, I don't even use my Onslaught anymore because it gives me more negatives than positives in my opinion. However, as shown in the Juggernaut build, the Lancer can actually be a good CC'er, right? Just give it the Vajra and combine that with the Miller Twist Rifling, the level 4 perk of the gun, and Disrupting Radiation with your Particle Pulses, you know, the one that gives you like 3 pulses, and you can have like up to 105% slow. That's insane. And that while still outputting solid DPS. But on the other hand, I mean, why bother if you can just go tech or dock if you want to go CC, right? Like, the Lancer's mobility isn't good either. Onslaught lowers your movement speed by 20%, and the Particle Lance and most of its replacer perks lock you into an animation. And on top of that, the Lancer is the class, the only class, that has the most amount of useless perks. Like perks like Entrenched, Unshakable, Muscle Memory. Those perks are just dead. They're dead weight in your perk grid. And that is why the Lancer is A tier. Low A tier, right? It has great potential, but it's just overshadowed by the classes that came before it. Why play Lancer for damage if you can play Demo or Gunner, right? Why play Lancer for CC if you can play Tech or Doc, right? No, Lancer is A tier, low A tier, A minus, even at best, it's an A minus. Alright, we've come to the last class, and the Phalanx is a little bit of a difficult one. Because, I mean, when you're playing against the Sins, and the Pathogen as well, like, the Phalanx is just, it's a billion tier, right? It's God tier, right? The Sins, they can't do anything against you. The Snipers, they can't even touch you, right? So against the Sins, the Phalanx is really, really good. And against the Pathogen, it's also really good, because apart from the Stalker, right, nothing grapples you. Like, the Poppers, yeah, cute. The Brute, yeah, cool story, bro. The Queen, who you hollering at, bitch? Like, in those specific missions, in the Sins and the Pathogen missions, right, Phalanx is God tier. Easy God tier. Easy life, right? But against the Xenos, you're griefing. Against Xeno, no, I don't want to hear it. You are definitely griefing. Like, Bulwark rarely procs against the Xenos because they die before they get to you. Shock Pulse, Cold Iron thought it would be cool if you needed to invest like half your perk grid for it, right? CC, yeah, sure, but again, invest half your perk grid for it. Your shield, yeah, kind of useless against Spitters and, you know, the aliens that can pounce or grapple you, which is arguably half the aliens you encounter. Like, against the Xenos, the Phalanx just has nothing going for it. The Phalanx has 0 redeemable qualities when fighting against the Xenos. And that's it, guys. This is the tier list, basically. Oh man, it's scuffed. It's poorly made. But again, guys, this is just a meme tier list, okay? It's a meme tier list. There we go. It's complete. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful, guys? Love to see it. Just love to see it. There we go, my friends. This is the tier list for carry potential, hard carry potential in insane missions. But, I mean, is it accurate, though? I mean, like, again, just don't look at the wording. I mean, I'm just kidding. I'm joking if you're taking the Phalanx and I said you're griefing. It's a joke. It's just that, like, out of all the classes, against the Xenos, the Phalanx is just the weakest class, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. I mean, you can have another opinion. If you know of a Phalanx build that is really great, just put it in the comments below. I would love to see it. Yeah, so this kind of concludes the tier list for insane difficulty. If you like this video and you want to see more like it, please comment, like, and subscribe, and ring that notification bell so that you never miss another upload. And I will see you when I see you.